This where everybody expects you to win. I don't know. Is it something that are you just very good at kind of making sure that you don't know that everybody expects you to win, or does that matter? Does it add extra pressure that there's a weight of expectation?
Well, you're gonna know. You know what I mean. If people are like my next opponent, people are writing this guy off. You know, he's a tough English man. A lot of people are writing him off already. You know, so I don't really play into that. You know what I mean. You just again focus on your training, focus on what you've been doing in the gym or on the pitch, so to speak. You know what I mean. So. Just don't believe your own hype, you know what I mean? Go out, keep calm, and the performance will come, you know what I mean?
You've obviously got a special relationship with your coach.
Yeah.
Like he's considered to be the guru of the sport in Ireland, really.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about him?
Yeah, man. I've been with John since day one, you know, with my coach. And he's a genius when it comes to this thing, when it comes to unarmed combat. You know, you wouldn't know looking at him, he's a small guy, you know what I mean? But he'd tie you up in a ball, and he knows the human frame like no other, you know what I mean? So, but again, he builds my confidence up and makes me feel like I'm better than makes you feel like you're better than you are, you know, and without me actually knowing, you know, that he's actually trying to do that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, not too forward, like, but building up your confidence on a subliminal level, nearly. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what.
John always put it to me is that we can change this, and do something that people haven't seen before. You know what I mean?
Talent. He wasn't necessarily more talented than anybody else, and I trained some pretty high-level athletes before I met Conor as well. But what made him a little bit different was I could see right from the beginning he was very curious about how jiu-jitsu worked and how martial arts worked. Whereas some guys might come in and they'll train hard when they're in the gym, and then they'll kind of switch off, go home and do other stuff. I could see Conor was pretty early on fairly obsessive. He would be always thinking about it outside of training, and when he came into training he always had kind of interesting questions, or he was always questioning what I would show him, and he'd maybe come up with his own way of doing things. So as a coach I've noticed that over the years that the guys who tend to get better quicker are ones that are thinking about it a lot more.
I knew growing up and all, when I was really young, it was always something I thought about, you know what I mean? I had some situations where people would say something or something would happen, you know what I mean? And I was, you know what I mean? I felt like I needed to be able to defend myself, you know what I mean? You know, so walking down the street and something happens and someone starts something, you know what I mean? I walk by a group of people and they're saying something, and things like that happened a few times, you know what I mean? And then I said, right, yes, I'm going to go and train. If anyone says that to me, then they're going to know about it, you know what I mean? That's how I started. I remember walking back from school, walked by a load of blokes, some load of youngsters, and I was just on my own, little kid, my school bag on. And he started saying something or whatever, and I just turned away, and then he came running at me, and I just ran off. There was about 6 of them. So instead of going and bringing my school bags, I emptied out all my school bags, and I had like a dumbbell, you know, a weight off a dumbbell. And I took that out, took the weights off the dumbbell, and I just stuck the dumbbell in my bag, and I always used to walk home with the bag a little bit open, ready to go. In case and I was just walking to school with no school bag, no school books, and no nothing, and then walking home and nothing. Just walking in with that little barbell. And I used to have a little joke, and I'd plan what would happen if I came across or if something happened. You know what I mean? I had a little routine. Like even there used to be a punch bag at the back, and instead of going out and punching it, I used to go out and hit it with the barbell, just like that. Because I knew it was a big solid steel bar. I just wanted to hit them enough so I could get away and get myself to safety. I just got into it. Not really. I didn't care about sport. Like, I don't care about sport fighting. I still really don't. I didn't get in it to be the All-Ireland champion or the world champion. I didn't get in it. I just got in it so people would say, right, this guy can do this, or this guy does a bit of training, or does something. We'll just watch him, or we'll just leave him alone. That was how I started doing it. And then it turns out I was good at it, you know what I mean? And that's it. I just got lost in it then, and it became more than just that. I met Tom Egan, who was the first Irish guy in the UFC 93 when they came to Dublin. He used to teach me how to grapple, I used to teach him how to box, and we'd have a little scrap at the end of it. And then we were doing that for a while. I'd stay up here from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then come home. And then we found out he knew about John's, or had heard about John Kavanagh's straight blast gym, and you can go and actually train properly in a gym, like not just not just in a shed, but just what we were doing.
Yeah, Conor, like at the beginning, he went through a really good spell. He was competing well, he was training hard. And then he gets to get into those kind of late teens, problem years, when he was 18, 19, 20, and maybe he went a little bit off-road. And we kind of missed him for about a year in the gym.
And that's it, I just was in and out of the gym, and I'd come, I'd fight, then I'd off for 2 months, then I'd go back. You know what I mean? That was the kind of relationship I had. And then one time, my first loss, he put me as the headline of one of the shows, John did. Everyone would kind of hear that I was doing this new thing, this cage where you can kick and do magic. I mean, that was kind of, so a lot of people come out to see me, and I don't know, I felt a lot of pressure, and it was funny because where my mind was then, and I was kind of like anticipating a loss, you know what I mean? You nearly know when, you nearly tell yourself if you're going to win or lose, and these are the first time, but things, those losses kind of helped me realise about the mental side of things, and how, compared to what way I am now, compared to what way I am there. Like anyway, I ended up losing that fight. It was like my fourth, I think it was 3-0, I went to 3-1 then. And then I don't know, I had tickets to sell as well. You know the way you sell tickets for the show, and it was my coach. But I was getting tickets at 30 quid, €30 for a ticket, and I was selling them to all my friends, and they were just coming at, I was getting 30 quid here, and then 3 hours later I was getting another 30 quid. So I was kind of dipping and dabbing into it, you know what I mean? So before I knew it, it was like 600 quid that was gone. And I was like, right, I'm just not going to go back. I don't know, I was just young and stupid basically, and then a while went by, and then Tom got the contract then, and John had heard that I was getting into a lot of trouble, which I was out doing no good, you know what I mean? I wasn't doing anything productive, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting in my house, depressed down my head one night after being out on a weekend partying and doing all sorts of shit, and John shows up at my front door.
It was actually a phone call from his mother that prompted me to call up to his house, and she rang me and asked would I have a word with him and tried to get him back training. So I called up, and we had a very frank discussion. You know, I just told him I thought he was throwing away a lot of ability and a lot of promise, and just basically wasting it, hanging out with friends that were maybe not really good friends to be hanging out with. And in fairness, he took it to heart, and that was, I guess, one of the big turning points in Conor's career, because he came back with a vengeance. He really came back full on in training, and he took that second opportunity by the horns, and since then I'm basically trying to kick him out of the gym. Like when I get him in here, that's it. He's here for the day, and he trains harder than pretty much anybody in the gym. He's one of the hardest workers. So I guess that was one of his. That was a big turning point for him, and it was kind of a nice thing that I remember at his when he won his first Cage Warriors world title. His mother was at it, and when I was walking out of cage, she kind of grabbed me and stopped me and said, "Do you remember that day I got you to come up to the house to talk to him?" I suppose it's a bit like a movie moment. She was a bit teary, and it was kind of a nice happy ending to the story. I should say happy beginning, because I really feel Conor's only kind of starting to fulfill his ability, and I hope that she's there when he wins his UFC belt, and we can kind of smile and look back on those days.
And that was him reaching out to me, so I wasn't gonna just f off again. You know what I mean? And I still had troubles in and out and all, but I stuck with it, and it made me and John closer, you know what I mean? And now here we are. Now I'm going to go out and represent his gym and him, and like I said I would when he came up and helped me out. I told him I have the ability to get here. I told him I believed in myself, you know what I mean? And he believed in me, and that belief he had in me made me feel like I was better than I probably was at the time, you know what I mean? And then that was it, we just go from there. The bond has grown, and now here we are, and it's perfect timing for this. Yeah, man, Gunny's been an inspiration, you know, he's been an inspiration to all of us. The way he approaches things, and I've definitely taken a lot from Gunny, you know what I mean? Getting to train with him has been great. We're different, but we're not different, you know what I mean? There's a lot of similarities as well. I've definitely taken a lot from him, and we definitely, when we were around each other, we always bounced back and forth with things and be talking about stuff. And seeing his success, you know what I mean? I could see myself in there as well, you know what I mean, before. But again, it's like everyone saw where he was going. Everyone saw where I was going.
I think what Conor's going to bring a little bit different to MMA that people haven't seen before. And I would say the same with his teammate Gunnar Nelson, is that they're both obsessive about improving their skill set. There does seem to be a trend in mixed martial arts to get to a pretty good level, striking and grappling, and then when you're at that level, stop learning, and instead just focus on like sparring and fighting really, really hard, lifting loads of weights and taking supplements and just trying to get bigger and stronger and faster.